today. Looking for go about 2 hours. Last time on Jagans and Drag Clerks, or I'm sorry, NASA, still learning the name switch. uh, yeah, the party had sat there and had a free for all fight in their bar that ended with a version of a fireball spell that kind of covered everything in soot and accosted their one patron, Yallo. Um, as soon as Yallo comes back to consciousness, he realizes that a very important item was stolen from his bag, and he and the rest of the party started searching for leads as to where that item went to. At last, you've just entered into the North Ward using a Nimble Right detector and a Griffin, and following the Nimble Right detector to the front of a building, and that's where we're going to resume. As I grab the book.
All right, let's blow it up, guys.
Wrong campaign.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the wrong campaign.
That's true. We could be homegrown terrorists in 2 campaigns, I guess.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Yeah, this is also a very terrible time given what happened on the news yesterday.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Which
I forgot
time?
about
There
that.
were 2 of them yesterday.
Yes.
We make sure everyone is clear of the building first before we destroy anything.
Beautiful. All right, what does this building appear to look like?
Once I get to where I was earlier when I had this idea.
You made me feel bad, like we were waiting on me.
We are
looks
still
like
waiting on you.
2 ducks in a man costume.
Yeah. So as you get out in front of this villa called Gralhoun Villa.
Gralhoun.
Yeah, Gralhoun Villa. As you see, is there's a large courtyard in the ground floor, with a stable off to one side and a building that's about half the size of your casino and tavern, Troll Skull Alley. Everything looks kind of neat, almost like a Victorian era house. Yeah, there we go.
Doors, windows, fences, walls.
Well, there's a small retaining wall, but nothing that you can't see over just by standing at it.
Maybe, Damros, maybe you could do a little flip flap and survey the area real quick.
Flip flap survey.
All right, roll for investigation. Then roll for flip, then roll for flap. No, I'm kidding. Just the first one.
I'll do it. Don't tempt me.
Just the first one. Just the first one.
That is going to be a 12.
All right, as you look around, there's a couple of worn out paths in the grass, and this looks like where some of the cattle in this villa.
16 and 17 for
Grizz?
flip and flap.
Jesus Christ.
You go a little bit too far to the left.
I was actually just gonna send you a whisper that said secret roll for flip flap.
So guess what? The flipping was okay, but those flaps were majestic, and you end up veering a little bit more to the side. But it's only like a couple of degrees to the flap side. You see a couple. Yeah, you can see a couple of work hands working with the cattle out there. But in terms of trying to see through the windows, every window has been covered so far.
Okay. Return to the party and go. These guys are paranoid. All the windows are covered in what looks like shit newspaper.
What were the work hands doing? Like, were they doing just like typical like housekeeping task type stuff?
Tending to cows.
Farm handing.
Farm handing, okay.
If you want, I can go into great detail what they were doing to these cows, but I don't think you want nightmares.
No, that's okay.
There was one being birthed.
If the windows are covered, that means they can't see us either.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. So, Damros, what do you think the best point of ingress is?
After
the front door?
surveying, did any of the entrances seem less traveled or weakened?
Given your role, you wouldn't know.
Fuck it, front door it is. They all look pretty well off the same, so it doesn't look like any are weakened or less traveled. So.
Okay.
I mean, between you and Royal, I think we could announce ourselves rather well at the front entrance.
Or we could not announce ourselves well.
Or we could go through the window.
Let's save that for leaving. That would be cool.
Let's throw Yallo through a window as a distraction.
Right? Like, how cool would it be, right? You know, we're all running down the hallway, and then Royal, you throw Yallo out the window, then dive out after him and catch him, and then roll when you hit the ground.
And then I don't have to hit the window myself.
Exactly.
The facepalm from Varm is palpable.
Yes, our no go-to plan is almost always the fastball special. Aaron, you are muted. We can't hear you, man.
Said, let's just knock on the door. That sounds like a much better plan.
What do we say when we knock on the door? Hey, I heard y'all got a nimble right in here.
And you stole from our gnome friend here.
Yes?
Oh, that's better. Yeah.
Do we want to
Not-
just announce what we're doing?
I mean, I'm fine with trying to sneak in through the front door.
Yeah.
Door sneak.
Just a little beanie action.
All right. So have we settled on how you're going to accost the front door?
We're sneaking up.
All right.
Gently caress it and make it uncomfortable till it just opens up.
Everybody roll stealth then, and put it into the chat.
I would like to use my inspiration. Because that was awful.
So as soon as Vash is about to start sneaking, he gets a little too excited as to what we're about to do, and this is his first major infiltration in his life. He runs straight up to the door and he goes like, wait, sneaking, walks back to the starting part, crouches, and then runs up to the door.
And the whole time the Pink Panther theme is playing.
Yes. Because apparently in Vash's mind, if he's going to do it, he's going to do it.
You said we're rolling stealth?
Yes.
Yep. Putting it in the chat.
Where the heck is it?
On the left.
Oh, there it is.
Don't worry about screwing the party over. I've already done that for us.
That's not how group checks go.
Well, I'm in my usual form, so I rolled an 8.
All right. And then Varm, have you gotten your stealth check yet?
Yeah, Varm, it looks like you might be the tiebreaker.
No, I have not.
Okay.
I can't get my character sheet to come up on D&D Beyond yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
Just
here,
assume it's like a +6.
I can
Sounds about
pull it
right.
up.
+6.
Corey with the assist.
It's up. It is a +6, as a matter of fact.
What?
It's got proficiency in it.
Actually, no, that's a big thing, Royal, is you sat there and the size and stature of Varm Nefarious and the fact that he just has so much gravitas, every fiber of his being. You sit there, it's like, how are we going to make this plan work when this is somebody who's sneaking around? And you begin to voice that thought, but then as you turn around, Varm's right there, just kind of grumbling right in your ear.
And Yallow's the one making noise, that little dude.
You hear little tiny pitter patters.
Yeah, you just did a turn around, it's like, oh, Varm is good at sneaking.
Meanwhile, crunch, 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 crunch.
You
For
must
Yellow
teach
Fox-
All
me.
right, Clarks?
Yeah,
Oh.
Yellow finds every leaf that he could possibly find and just steps on it.
The proficiency bonus is doubled for any ability checks.
Yep.
Did they add that in already or no?
Yeah, it automatically does that.
Okay.
Doesn't matter, you guys are fine. So you guys are all SWAT formationed up right by the door.
Mm-hmm. SWAT
Okay.
formation.
Yes, the door is closed, but you did a great job of not announcing that you're on the other side of the.
How far is the nearest window?
about 15 feet in either direction. 10 feet in either direction.
Does anybody have a hammer, like a war
Curse of
hammer?
Strahd campaign, not this one.
I have a hand axe.
Well, I was thinking if we had something similar to a war hammer, we could just bash in the lock and go full on in.
I have a crowbar.
But,
I have a mace.
I have a crowbar.
well, first off, does the door appear to be locked?
No one has tried the door yet.
Well,
I take out my mace.
that is what I would like to do, is try the door.
All right, roll for taking out your mace. I can't believe I'm waiting for a roll of this. Like, the door's unlocked.
Okay.
Okay, damn rush check. But I have my mace out.
Okay.
Stealthily open the door.
All
and
right.
Peek inside.
Yeah, as you peek inside, your nimble right detector, which nobody sat there and actually tested on a nimble right before, not only is spinning the umbrella around in a 360-degree arc, it is also beginning to whistle as if to say the nimble right is really fucking close.
Turn that thing off.
But as you sit there and let go of the dead man switch, and you open the door, you begin to see a surprise here that you don't see one nimble right. You don't see two. There are 25 in this room.
Huh?
2 to 5.
Are we all on the same map then? Just like this long Manhattan Island looking map?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do they see us?
Yeah. They don't seem to care.
Okay. Do they seem active, like dormant?
Some seem dormant, as if their entire duty hasn't been assigned yet. Some are moving around, taking care of various cleaning tasks. Others are doing some bookkeeping. But out in a corner, you see like a cadre of 8 deactivated at the moment.
They definitely see us.
Those 8 don't.
Are just doing a census? And people here.
Given what you know about nimble rights, you're not surprised when you don't hear an answer. But one nimble right sits there and just raises 3 of his mechanical fingers.
Well, write that down. Thank you very much.
Where are the living ones?
You end up getting 3 different of the nimble rights pointing in different directions. One's pointing up, the other is pointing out towards the stable, and one is just pointing out the front door.
I turn around because I think something's behind me.
There's Varm.
Do the slowly walk backwards out the door trick.
None of them seem hostile.
I was just walking along with the census takers.
Security.
Trying to. That's what I was doing. I'm trying to locate a missing object, and somebody told me it might be this direction.
All right, I'm gonna sit there and be honest. You guys know that nimble rights cannot talk, right?
Nope.
Nope.
Not a clue.
Nope.
You've all lived in Waterdeep enough to see these guys.
Oh,
That's
okay.
fine.
Doesn't mean I interacted with them.
So as soon as Royal says, "Hey, we're looking for somebody," you just hear, "Yeah, just all right, cool."
I ask the nearest one. I say, "Master of the house, where?" Point.
Pointed out the front door.
Oh shit.
I
Well, he pointed upstairs, so let's go murder
He-
hobo the guy upstairs.
You pointed out
Do you
the front
mind if
door.
Do you mind if we go upstairs for a minute?
Wellness check.
Cool.
You
Yep.
work for, or are you owned by Xanathar or Urstal Flaxen? 1 finger for Xanathar, 2 for Urstal.
He wants a fist bump.
As you dap the nimble right, you get a hard time getting this emotion across because it's a nimble right, and his face is kind of fixed in one place, but he just kind of turns his head to the side like a dog trying to locate a sound.
Fa la 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 la.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's just a little metallic dink sound as soon as the dap happens.
I start heading upstairs.
All right.
Me too.
Oh.
Stealthily for me.
Have we taken... This is just like a... Like the maker of these creatures, and that it's not the right one that we're looking for?
Sure.
It's
possibility.
possible. I choose to believe that this is the house where all of them live.
Okay.
Yeah. So as you look upstairs, you find. Let's see here. Here, as I get this right. There's a. Making sure I have this.
3 goblins in a dragonborn costume.
No, there is a humanoid woman up there. It looks like in sort of a meditation or a prayer, and a half-orc bodyguard just kind of sitting there, standing through a room. And as soon as you guys see this, the half-orc begins to grab his weapon, a mace, and at that point, the lady just goes, "It's fine. They would have destroyed the area as soon as they entered the building if they had the chance. It's probably not why they're here." At that point, she begins to stand up, turn around, and goes, "I'm Yala Gralhund. Welcome to the villa. Next time, I recommend knocking before you enter."
That's what
The-
I thought. Yeah, to be fair. That's proper manners.
It tends to get people farther in life.
Is this your humble abode?
Now you're just saying words to try to make up for the fact that you're insubordinate. I feel like we can move past that right now and get to the
Indubitably.
point at hand. What have you been doing in the villa?
Taking a census?
Usually most people wait at the door for that.
The mechanical dudes pointed us up here.
Yes. My husband's creations has taken over making a lot of those lately. Probably closer to the number of 50 that work inside the place and out. What questions do you have regarding them?
Does he sell them?
Not so much that has contract out.
Do you have a record of who they are rented out to?
No, yes, absolutely. Why do you ask?
We were trying to just figure out, who lives where and what kind of business they're in.
I think we can stop the pretense of the census. You
Okay.
clearly are not census takers because they don't come 6 at a time.
We were robbed by one, and we must find out whose fault
You're
it
robbed
is
by a
before...
census taker.
No!
So we
By
have to,
one of your
we have to finish his
husbands.
job. He won't give us
Until
our
we
stuff
find
back.
out who did it, we think you did it.
So hold on one second, making sure that I understand this correctly, because I'm pretty certain I don't, given the words that you use. You were robbed by a census taker, and it is
Yes.
my fault.
Yes.
Think so? Is that what I said?
That's what it sounded like.
When I interrupted, that's what it sounded like.
All right. Here we go. Once again, in the nature of civility, one of you speak at a time. And if anyone sits there and uses the word census, you will be removed from the premises forthwith.
Yes, guys, let's all come to our senses.
Out!
I think you misunderstood
At
his
this point,
accent.
the half-orc kind of just sits there and picks you up by the shoulders and goes, "You did hear the rules, buddy." And just drops you right at the threshold of the building.
It was worth it.
So one of your not talky guys downstairs took something from us. We're trying to find it. And we think it was somebody who rented one.
Do you happen to know what you're missing?
I'd rather not talk about it.
You know, that'd make it a lot easier to find the thing if we know what we are looking for.
That's why I want to know who you have rented them out to.
I'm sorry, I don't think that this will be able to be a fruitful conversation for you, because you're asking for confidential information.
Help. Line.
Take inspiration, you jackass. But Yallo, roll investigation.
Oh, fuck this die. Oh, it's a adjusted 10, I guess.
It's okay. You got what you needed. There's actually another Nimblewright that is walking back towards the villa. And as soon as it locks eyes on you, it seems like it takes a moment to process. The eyes change color a little bit. And you see it start to, instead of going into the villa, begins to walk away slowly and a little bit faster and a little bit faster. You get the idea that it might have recognized you.
Are your bots racist against gnomes?
There's no answer because you're outside the house.
I will go follow it.
All right. As you do that, once again, it begins to pick up speed. You're beginning to regret having your stubby gnome legs because you're clearly losing on it.
Oh, Misty step in front of it.
It ends up dashing. How far can you Misty step?
60 feet. Let me double check. 30 feet.
30 feet. Yeah, it was enough to get you a little bit closer after the end of a spirited burst of speed, but it's not enough to close the gap. At this point, the rest of the party has probably heard Yallo's very loud voice for his frame begin to trail off.
Just prestidigitation to yell back. I found the fucker!
Census.
I'm gonna fly
You can-
after Yallo and go, oh shit.
You can all leave.
I'm gonna go through a window.
I jump out the nearest window.
Roll for glass shards.
I didn't say I was breaking a window, I said I was going out through a window.
No, I'm jumping through a window.
Roll
I'm
for
gonna-
glass shards.
I'm gonna
Is
open
that-
the window, and then I think I wouldn't be surprised if, Royal jumped through the open window and broke the top half.
I rolled a 00 and a 9.
All right, so there is one piece of glass that was stuck into your shoulder. Not enough to do that it counts as damage. It's more just cosmetic. As you landed on that piece of glass on the fall back to the ground. The additional part here is that you try to also throw out your parachute, not realizing that it won't work when you only have to fall 10 feet.
I choose to believe it worked. I'm still alive.
Yep. So at this point, the entire party has gotten outside of the villa. You see Yellow a couple, like maybe 80, 100 feet out in the distance. Mike, at this point, you are 15 feet above everybody else.
Woohoo!
As the Nimble Right, another 50 or 60 feet ahead of Yellow, is heading deeper into the North Ward. At this point, we are going to begin a chase skills challenge. All right, you guys will be working as a party using the skills. We'll assume, with the exception of Mike and Yellow for the time being, that the party is moving in unison. And we'll take Royal's move speed on this one, just because Vash has special abilities that he can activate. Yeah, and then the entire goal is to catch up to the Nimble Right.
So what?
Like multiple paths that we can like cut it off, or
You guys can sit there and ask questions about what you want to see as like a split second free action. Those are not limited in number, but basically your actions will decide whether or not you gain or lose on this Nimble Right.
Is the terrain flat all around?
It is flat, but there are a number of market stands. There's people around.
Okay.
Yeah.
okay. I guess being in front, I want to take a quick glance and see if there's like a dead end that he's going to be running into that's going to force like a direction change anytime soon.
Investigation check.
Oh.
Yeah. So in terms of what the North Ward is, if you look just north of the giant hole in the North Ward up here, you can see that there's not a lot of cul-de-sacs or dead ends, but there are loops. And as what it looks like here is that as you've been following the Nimble Right, is it will always take turns quickly in order to make sure that it doesn't get caught in just a dead sprint chase.
Can I use my Wanderer feature from my background, given my excellent memory for maps and geography, and can always recall the general layout of terrain, settlements, and other features around me? Could I devise a route that would be the best for catching us up to Yallo and the Nimble Right?
Catching up to Yellow will be easy just because you are more capable of running than a gnome is, just basing on genetic facts. As we get into like the North Ward, you don't have a complete idea other than just trying to use alleyways in order to shorten a corner.
Okay.
Could I use my height advantage to stay above the party and holler directions at them?
You certainly can. So what that will do is if you're trying to create a shortcut, all of those checks moving forward will have advantage as long as Mike's character can see yours. And I'll let you know if they can't, but just assume you have advantage on movement checks.
Yeah.
Okay.
My plan is to stay as relatively close to the party within, shouting distance while keeping eyes on the Nimble Right, so I have a good perspective of paths through the city with least resistance and shortest distance.
All right. So first actions.
Well, I've got that height deal. So I want to see if I can see a shortened path towards the average direction the Nimble Right seems to be moving.
So what you've come to realize here is that the only way that you foresee there's two ways you foresee catching this is either being able to outsprint the Nimble Right. Given what you've seen so far, is you get the idea of he can clear over 40 feet in a turn at just like a regular jog.
Okay.
You're trying to sit there and take advantage of how often he's turning by using alleyways to have someone turn early and turn late.
Mhm.
You also see that the other option is to be able to outsprint, which is one that like both will have pros and cons.
Yeah, statistically speaking, I probably won't be able to outsprint his happy ass. If I know my nimble rights.
Do you think we'll be able to position ourselves in a way that
Should
Damros, you can use your directions that you're shouting out to drive him into an ambush?
Ooh.
and should we fan out?
Hey, Varm, inspiration for that idea.
All right. What if we do that and I can be, I can be the rabbit. I can chase him down and, force him to make movements. I could probably catch him pretty well.
That would make you the hound.
Well, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt, but I have a question. I'm looking at my bonus action, and it says I have Misty Step, or is that like a generic thing too?
No, Misty Step is you can expend a spell slot, and as a bonus action, you can continue to move. That move does not provoke attacks of opportunity, and you can take somebody with you if the spell allows it. I'm trying to remember, and I think you can.
It's like a short range teleport.
Yeah.
But I do have it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I have 2-weapon fighting too.
Apparently.
I was just curious because I know on some of this other stuff, like actions, it just does this generic thing. So I was just curious. But bonus actions, if it goes into bonus actions, that's what you have. It's not a generic thing like as in actions in combat.
Right.
Okay. Well, Misty Step really only lets you move another 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Is that going to help in this case?
And I think it'll definitely help people get into position quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how often do I get that?
As many spell slots as you have.
Level 2, so as many level 2 spell slots, yeah, or higher.
Or higher.
Which, as a warlock, I think he only has level 2 spell slots.
That's a level 2 or 3, yeah.
So essentially what that'd be is, as long as you have a spell slot, you can end up moving your move speed, taking your main action to dash, and your bonus action to Misty Step and move an additional 30 feet.
And you say I could take someone with me?
No. Not according to the
whatever the
description.
spell says. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Highlight it on D&D.
While we're doing this, while I'm thinking this, I'm still moving. I'm like chewing gum and walking at the same time type of thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that was the assumption we were basing on.
Oh, okay. The other question I had is due to my past background in less savory arts of the underworld type of thing, does that help me go through the crowds any faster? Do I know the layout better here?
Between Damros's eye in the sky feeding directions, and Vash's kind of knowledge of the Northward map, it kind of reinforces what you guys already have, is that you know where more congregated areas are, where clearer areas are, but probably the most specific thing that information would provide is where would you find interlopers that would end up looking to take advantage of a situation.
Well, Mystic Step only takes one person, me.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So why don't we do this? Why don't we at the next intersection? Why don't we fan out? I will take off in the direction of the nimble right, and Damros, you can help everyone get into the right position and adjust as the nimble right moves, because none of us know exactly where it's going.
Well, I'm thinking that since you would have the most movement speed, if I stick with you to get you on the opposite side of them, like split the distance and make sure you can get around them, while keeping everybody essentially as a wall behind them, so you can get behind them and drive them back towards everybody.
Yeah.
make him double
Yep.
back where he's gone, so he has to go to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Jay, I have one question here. Just so I'm only going to get to use this once if you allow it. So my feline agility, it says when I move on my turn in combat. Can I use that for this still?
I'm willing to give you an alternate to that, since we're in a skills challenge, which is a combat analog.
hmm
Is that you can use it every other turn.
Okay. I mean, I'm fine with just being able to use it once because it says I can't use it again until I move 0 feet on my turn.
Oh, okay, then yeah, that you can use it once.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So I mean, really, what I'll take off then. I'll use my I'll use my 40 feet of movement speed. I will dash to move 80. I'll use my feline agility to move another
So
40.
what is your baseline move speed?
40.
40? All
Mhm.
right. So with your feline agility, this is the first time that you felt like you're catching up to the nimble right.
Okay.
So on the chase scene map I have over here on my little drum, um, made significantly positive benefit.
Okay.
Can you do me a favor and make an intelligence check?
Okay.
So did you see like a fur line flying right past me? Little gnome legs.
Yeah.
That is a 13.
Yeah. So as you're looking around, you're realizing that Damros, you're seeing this as well. Whatever position of the street that Vash is putting himself on, the nimble right is usually turning away from where that position is.
Okay.
You're getting the idea that you can use that to your advantage to try to force him into a choke point.
Oh, so like if I'm running along the left side of the road, he turns right?
Yes.
Okay.
Because the entire idea, what it seems like is the programming for this nimble right is sit there in this function to just create as much distance as possible.
Okay.
Okay, so that being said, I'm going to try and coordinate Vash to keep him moving in a right and back direction towards the party while trying to keep everybody else fanned out just enough where they can cover the distance between roadways, where if he makes an abrupt turn, they can dash over there real fast and head him off.
Great stuff. All right, another positive effect. As you come down, about after 6 seconds of gaining on this nimble right, you feel that you're now kind of holding pace. He's not advancing on you. You're not advancing on him. He begins to sit there and once again turns right. He's heading into a bazaar in the North Ward, and at this point, it's kind of like what's a good one? Tom Hardy and Leonardo DiCaprio's chase scene in Inception in the middle of the bazaar, as we're like Leo's just throwing things in the way, trying to make you jump over them. So I'm going to need an athletics check from you.
From me?
Yes.
Okay.
You do have advantage from this because Damros is able to see and calling out obstacles a split second before you have to interact with them.
Okay. Well, I rolled a natural 20 for a 21 athletics check.
All right. This actually slowed him down because he had to sit there and side while you sit there and were immediately able to get the information. It's like a good rally car driver. You're in the driver's seat. You just hear, left turn 5, and you're boom, instantly going. And you actually gain another 20 feet.
Seeing that I'm starting to keep pace with him, can I tap into my key and step of the wind?
You certainly can.
Okay.
Yep. So in terms of distance, you are now within 50 feet.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. And let me check his abilities, make sure that I'm playing this right. Yep, I'm good. All right. Seeing that he's equally matched, if not bested, in crowded areas, he's now trying to move like areas where he can go into a straight dead sprint. Anything that you'd like to do in this case? Damros, what you're able to see is that this is not an area where either person can improve or worsen their position. It seems like a dead heat. Is there anything that you'd like to do to change the nature of that part of the encounter?
Let me take a look at what I can do real fast. See if there's anything in particular.
At this point, the rest of the party, if you look up at the North Ward, right here in the middle, right where I'm pinging, this intersection, is where Damros has put you guys at at a choke point. Each of you has taken a side there, just making sure that you're able to disrupt the Nimble Right's movement and surround as soon as he gets through in any direction of that place.
So I figured out what I want to do.
All right,
Seeing as I am a rogue, I can dash as a bonus action.
you can.
So I would like to use my movement, my action, and my bonus action to get on the opposite side of him to drive him back.
All right. So I'm going to need a little more information than that. Is this one where you're trying to sit there and just make him have to slow down a little bit, or you're just trying to make a sweeping pass to force a change of direction?
Sweeping past to force a change of direction so he can't have the ability to dash.
All right. As you do that, you do get there. I'm going to have you make an intimidation check with your dexterity as the modifier instead of charisma.
Okay. Let's see here. So, with dexterity, that is going to be a 23.
All right. That was probably one of the biggest clutch plays that you could have made, because not only does he sit there, slow down, stop, he begins to look and then carts off right to where the intersection you guys cordon off in. At this, additionally, Vash continues to gain as well. So your sweeping pass looked to be a major contributing factor. At this point, Nicodemus, Royal, Varm, Yalo, you do like the you now see the Nimble Right coming towards the intersection. Anything you guys would like to do?
Yeah, can I cast Grease in the direction he's coming from?
Yes. You have done so. Mark off the spell slot. All right. Anybody else? Anything you'd like to do?
Do I know he's casting Grease?
You know that the grease spell has been planted. You're all within sight of each other.
Okay, because I was going to Misty Step, but I think that'd be horrific at that point with the grease on the ground.
Yeah.
Or wonderful.
Oh God,
I'm gonna,
on his hockey rink.
I'm gonna step back near where the grease spell's been cast and try to get a little bit of cover so he can't see me.
So you could Misty Step in front of it, theoretically.
Can I want to get on top of a building.
Okay. Easy enough for you, Royal. Varm, stealth check.
17.
All right. You found, ironically, a stack of boxes that almost goes perfectly with your form. All right. As we get here, Can you remind me if I need to make a saving throw if I'm running over grease?
Yes, you need to make a saving throw when you enter it, and then when you it's a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Dexterity saving throw of 13, and
you fall prone. Otherwise, it's difficulty. It's just difficult terrain.
Cool.
Should I also make this save?
You probably should.
Yeah, because I mean,
you're standing on it. Yeah, you should have when it appeared. Yeah.
Vash would not pay attention to the terrain that closely. I am like full on focused on the Nimble Right.
So he had disadvantage on this.
Nice situation.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So he would have had disadvantage on this because he was unaware. Abilities he had on all saving throws, but I rolled a natural 1.
I rolled a 13.
He is prone.
Yeah, so you end up like Vash skidding, and you're like, but it's not like a scary skidding. You're like, oh, this is fun, as you then get down into a superhero stance.
Like when you're a kid and someone had a slip and slide and you just like superhero stood on it the whole way down as you slid.
Yes, specifically that. And this is one of the fun slip and slides that isn't set over a rock.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But this ends the chase scene because the nimble right sat there, took one step in order to maintain its footing, but it slid out and slides and ends up just face planting and moving and like digging into the ground for about 20 feet forward before getting up, looking around, and realizing it's surrounded. At this point, he ends up beginning like grabbing from inside of his leg this long rod that ends up looking like a rapier, but it literally pulls out something out of its leg. And you end up seeing a little bit of arcane energy as it looks like it's now trying to defend itself. I'm going to set up a battle.
Okay.
So let's go ahead, and once I divide that out a little bit, if I can get initiative rolls, and I'm going to set up the map if you guys want to take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm already down 2 spell slots, and the battle hasn't even started. So
All right.
Do you want us to put the initiative in chat?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Rolling initiative. Wow, I roll great on initiative.
it's time to
Remembering
switch out die.
what is my bonus?
Well, this was the problem is these are the ones that'll roll really well for doing stupid things like flipping and flapping.
Just pull out those DM. I like to crit my players' dice.
The Tomb of Annihilation ones that are retired.
Yeah.
At least I think they're retired. Let me look. Yeah, I put them.
Wow, great rolls, team.
Which are in here. Boy. Somewhere.
Oh, that's not the tab I wanted to go into. Actually, that's not what I wanted to do either.
Tony
Let's go
Povar
into
dice.
here.
Hmm. Let's see here. It was these ones. And what was the other set I was using? Those ones.
Man, Varm, too bad you didn't have the tripping trick shot, huh? Or whatever that one was.
Yeah, something like that.
Haha, there are the Tomb of Annihilation fuck you guy dice. And they're both green.
Just wait until you guys realize about independent outcome.
See? Fuck you guys dice. Back in there. So I have 2 sets of retired dice at the moment. Dead player dice and Tomb of Annihilation dice.
Where did I put that? There we go.
Oh yeah, Corey, I just got actually a while ago, and I've been meaning to tell you this. An idea that I might end up doing for dead characters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, print off their character sheet and
set it on fire.
and get like a shadow box that I can stick their dice in, and just do that for them.
Yeah.
You know, just use
I
like
think
proper cement or something.
I'm gonna do the Viking funeral thing.
Burn the dice.
What did I miss?
Nothing. I was just joking around.
I think that's what's going to happen to once all the Tomb of Annihilation stuff is resolved. Burn those dice. We accomplished something. We completed a chase. Ooh, I have dots on me.
Yep. So that's supposed to work on height and feet.
That's smart.
Just if you ever have to do that while DMing, it always goes from largest digit to smallest for some reason. And then whenever Yalo gets back, we'll just need to have him mark where he wanted the grease. That as long as it encompasses both the nimble right and Vesh, will be
I'm
a
number
valid
25.
location. That's because you're on top of the building, 25 feet up.
Well, seeing as we don't use the, circles, we could use those for simplicity's sake, so we can make the changes also, Jay.
Yep.
Am I missing? Are the tokens down somewhere?
They're like in the middle-ish, or I guess north.
There we go.
I'll use the blue one. There we go. 30 foot. Oh god.
Oh, I see what you're saying, Mike. I understand.
This is the nimble, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the guy that's
The one that's currently prone.
Yeah.
So nimble rights initiative, if it stays on the table. Okay. And he gets. Okay. All right. So we have Sean. What's your initiative roll?
I didn't even roll it. Initiatives. Ooh, 11.
Okay. So that means we'll have.
I tell you what, if I hadn't spent so much damn money on this dice, I'd throw them away.
Yavul.
Bless you.
We accomplished something.
What's the hypotenuse formula again?
Hypotenuse, a squared plus b squared equals c squared,
Duh. Okay.
That's Pythagorean theorem.
which finds the hypotenuse.
Yep.
But remember, hypotenuses do not apply in D&D. We have had this discussion.
Oh, we have? Okay.
Yes. It's 5 foot no matter what.
It's true. Wizards of the Coast does not care about your triangles.
Wait, the hypotenuse is 5 feet all the time?
It's always 5
no,
foot.
like
Every square is 5
you're
foot.
you move diagonally 5 feet as well as up and down. You know what I mean? It's the same.
I'm trying to figure out how far I am from the nimble right from being on the roof.
Whatever
so
the straight line distance is, because we don't
It's
do
just the straight line
hypotenuse.
distance. Okay.
No, it's hypotenuse
So
works on visual. It does like in ranges. It doesn't work on like
So
can you move
I'm-
there? Because like for example, when we were doing the Rise of Tiamat battle, and I had someone literally 110 feet above me,
Yeah.
I couldn't melee that.
No, but like as far as like if I were to try to throw something, it's 15 feet right now.
Because this runs into the issue of him being 25 foot up, 15 foot out. Then you have to do the hypotenuse. So we made this ruling a couple times, and Critical Role did hypotenuses don't count.
Because otherwise we're playing.
We're playing maths, not D&D.
What's that one?
I would sit there as like as long as it's not unreasonable. Like in this case, if you're trying to throw a hand axe, I think you'd have a decent enough chance. But if you're like 200 foot up, the person's 50 foot out, and you're trying to throw a hand axe, it's like, yeah, this is a little ridiculous. So as long as it's something that an above average person could attempt, I'll let it go.
Oh, we could do something simple like 3/4 of the sum of height and horizontal distance, or half, or whatever.
We're just gonna do the smell test. If it smells like it stinks, then it's not happening.
Okay.
Works for me.
Yeah. All right, everybody back?
Looks like it.
Yep.
Si, senor.
Okay, Varm, just because you're the only one without a camera right now that I can't hear.
I said yeah.
Cool, perfect. All right, so first to act in this battle is Royal.
I'm gonna go into a rage.
All right. What do you say?
You can't run from justice.
Nice.
And I'm gonna throw a javelin at him.
All right. That's clearly within the range of a javelin. It'd be a normal strike.
Do this guy?
What's that?
We're trying to subdue him, right?
Yeah.
Death.
I can throw a javelin at him and not kill him. Ooh, 10 to hit.
I need to sit there and check the damn. 10 does not hit.
Yeah.
It basically deflects off the metal carapace.
Then I need to save my movement because I need to do something. So I'm just gonna move to the edge of the building and then I'm done.
All right, Nicodemus.
That's a really good question. What do I have? So would my spells be considered lethal, or can we just do it? Are we doing like a subdue mode when it's 0, he's subdued?
So based off of the rules of the game is that you can always declare non-lethal intent. And that's what I'm going to assume for this battle unless somebody tells me different.
Yeah, okay, cool. Then I can still cast any of my normal stuff for non-lethal.
Yes.
All right. Firebolt.
Fireball?
Bolt.
Bolt, okay.
Non-lethal fireball.
I just want to sear him.
It'll kill like the entire party.
Just want to melt his feet to the cobblestone.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit.
Ooh. 16.
16, unfortunately, does not hit.
I'm gonna burn this fucking die something fierce.
Not with that roll.
Not funny. Alright, I'm just gonna stay put because I don't need no disadvantage rolls. I'm having enough problems.
Cool. Yellow.
Ash is not within 5 feet of him, right?
Vash is not within 5 feet. Oh, by the way, can you put down where you're... As long as Vash and the Nimble Right are inside of it, it's a valid spell.
Let's see. It's only supposed to be like there. Can you see that?
Yep, that works for me.
It'll be 10 by 10, so
Yep.
It's gotta be a little fudged. Then I'm going to throw an ice dagger at this, or an ice knife at this motherfucker.
Ice knife at that. All right, go ahead and roll to hit.
Actually, it is a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Oh, dex saving throw of 13. Okay. Once I find out what I do with my d20.
Wait, no, sorry. That's if that's afterwards. Sorry, that's a secondary effect. Yeah. So it is a roll to hit.
So I'm sorry, did you roll to hit yet?
Nope, not yet. It is a 9 plus 5, so that is a 14.
Unfortunately, this one, you get the idea, even though it can't make facial expression. That ice dagger was something it was more concerned about than the other attacks. Mm-hmm. So he was able to sidestep that one.
Well, as it goes right next to its head, it explodes.
What's up?
As it flies next to its head, it explodes, and now it has to pass a dexterity saving throw of 13.
Cool. So it ended up with its dex bonus rolling a 15.
Okay, so then it avoids the
Yep. So at this point, we'll get to anything else you want to do, Yellow?
That's another wasted spell slot, so...
Yep. So next up will be the Nimble Right once you're done, Yellow.
Fuck you. I'm just mad at him. Fuck you. Give me my stone.
So at this point, the Nimble Right is going to close and is going to make 2 attacks with the rapier. It gets... Oh, wow. Okay. That is a 12 for the first one.
Against me, that misses.
Yep. And that is, I rolled terribly, 14 for the second.
Misses.
All right. So with the unsure footing that the grease spell provides, apparently that's giving, telegraphing his moves just enough that you're able to just move your core or just raise your arm in order to miss the thrust of the rapier. That now brings us to Vash the Stampede.
Just to make another deck save on the end of his turn for the grease
Okay.
scene.
Well,
Otherwise, it falls prone again.
Well, it's back prone now because he rolled a
Okay.
natural one.
All right. Well,
And
then I'm
Vash
going
is gonna do
to.
the same.
Yeah, natural 1 plus 7, so it ends up being an 8. So he spent half his movement getting up, missing on attacks, and then falling right back down. In the back of Yallow's mind, he just hears the Benny Hill soundtrack.
All right. I am going to attack with my Naginta.
Mm-hmm.
I
Take advantage because he's prone.
Okay. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
Did you take advantage?
Yeah.
That will miss.
Okay.
Well,
Then
yeah, deflects off the carapace.
I will. I'll use a key point to do a furry elbows. So that's a 19 for the first one,
First one hits.
and the second one is a 14, which misses.
The 14 will miss.
All right. And that's 7 bludgeoning damage from the furry elbows.
Okay. Anything else
Now
you'd
you
like to
have
do?
do a deck save.
Yeah, I'll before the end of my turn, I will back up out of the grease.
Very cool. All right. Varm, next up.
All right, so he's still prone,
Yes.
so I have advantage on the attack.
Because it's a ranged attack, you would have disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah, melees
wanna
get
move up.
advantage, range get disadvantage. I'm prone.
Okay. Then I want to expend a grit point to make my shot with advantage, which negates the disadvantage.
Correct.
Using my pistol. Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Nice.
I'm so excited for this moment.
Obviously non-lethal. 9 piercing.
9 piercing. Yeah.
His
Don't
head
worry.
explodes.
Once again, unless you tell me otherwise, it will always be non-lethal.
10-4.
Verbal.
Yep.
That ends my turn.
All right. That will bring us to Damros to close out the round.
Alrighty, so I am 50 foot out.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll use my bonus action to dash.
Okay.
35, 40, 45, and then I will descend. So that whole time I've been descending to try and get about 5 foot above him, so I don't
Okay.
land in the grease, but within range to stab him with a rapier.
All right. So before you end up doing the attack, just make sure you reset your.
Yeah, so that'll put me at +5.
So you can just, yeah, you can just turn off the brown dot and then put 5 on the blue.
I can't. I have no access to that.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
that'll
do.
The
I
dots?
think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops. I ruined it.
So as soon as you click on a dot, just end up punching the number on the keypad.
Okay.
Nope, doesn't let me do it.
Let
That's
me
weird.
fix my dots.
All right. So you're 5 feet ahead. You get to make the attack with advantage because it's a melee strike.
Okay, so natural 20 and a 1.
Looks like the natural 20 is what you're going to take.
Yep.
Take the 1.
So safe to say that hits then.
Mhm.
So I get 2d6 and a d8 if I can remember which ones those are. Math just crapped on my brain. That's 38 plus 3. Yep. So 41.
How many d6s did you get for sneak attack now?
2d6. I rolled a 5, a 2, and a 6 on my d8.
So, but you had a 38 damage?
Because it's you double all damage dice on a natural 20.
Oh, that's true. Yes. I forgot that part.
Yep.
So this one, like you're just sick of seeing things deflect off the carapace. So as you sit there and attack with a rapier, you flick off some of it,
Oh, 31,
and then
my bad.
everybody else in the party simultaneously just goes, "Don't kill it!" And you just look, it's like, I know.
It was actually 31. My math was fucked up.
All right.
Yeah. Well,
All right. But now we're back to Royal at the top of the round.
All right. I am going to dash as a bonus action because that I can do because I'm raging.
Yep.
And then I'm going to back up. And then I'm going to run out and long jump,
Okay.
which I should be able to go that distance because it's my
You can
strength
easily
score.
go with that because you're also 25 feet up in the air.
Okay. And I want to use my action to tackle.
Okay.
roll
Here's
for
the deal.
pig wrestling.
Yeah.
Inspiration for the roll.
Here's what I was going to sit there and say. Because this is so ridiculous, if you give me the inspiration, I'll just say it happened.
Okay.
Because he's prone on he's prone on the ground, greased up, so he's unable to get sure footing, and you're doing a full Toma.
Slash, pretty much, just going.
Yes.
How far do we slide?
For the
Great.
yeah, for the purpose of this, both of you slide 5 feet in the grease. So both of you are right there.
Cool.
How much bludgeoning damage does a royal do?
So
To myself.
He fell 25 feet onto a hard object. I'm willing to say that's 3d6 fall damage that goes to both of you.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll for the fall damage that goes to you, Royal. You roll for the fall damage to the Robot.
11 on the dice for 3d6.
11, 11 on the dice. So I rolled a 14. That gets rounded down to 7 for you.
Okay.
You fucking idiot. I love it. That's also like the best thing you can ever get a DM to say is "you fucking idiot." I love it. All right. Anything else you want to do on this turn, Royal?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Nico Damos.
So, okay, now that they're in a clusterfuck, my question is, okay, why can't I find this?
Just Eldritch Blast me. It's fine.
You said,
Shooter.
so, okay, I'm looking at my D&D Beyond character sheet,
Mhm.
and I specifically went under spells. And at like second level, it's got like cast, burning hands, or use, hellish rebuke. What do these mean?
So, in order to make a warlock more viable, is you'll have spells that do not cost a spell slot, but instead you get a limited use per short rest.
Okay, so when I do the one that says use, that means it's not a spell slot. That's a rest.
Let me look at your character sheet real quick so I can speak with knowledge.
So Hellish Rebuke is a reaction. That's when you get hit with an attack.
Oh, hence the reason it's a rebuke.
Correct.
Mhm.
Yeah. If you click where it says cast on any of those spells, it will automatically check one of your spell slot boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So
but why
that's
why don't I have that on my mage armor? That's just an at will.
Because you can
Because
cast
of
it
your
Cantrip?
Eldritch Invocation.
Yeah.
What?
Because it's an Eldritch Invocation. So because it's basically a class thing for you where you don't use a spell slot to cast mage armor anymore.
Yeah.
Usually a cantrip.
But it's not a cantrip, or it is?
No, it's not.
No.
I mean, you've
So-
basically turned it into a cantrip. Yes.
Yeah. That's what we're trying to say is like no matter what, we can just assume you have mage armor because it does not cost you anything.
Because I have
Other
quite a
than maybe
few
an action.
spells that don't cost me anything anymore. and I'm
Yeah.
trying to
So
figure out
Yeah, so the only time that you'll cast a spell that uses a spell slot is if underneath the spell's name you see Warlock.
So, okay, but my at-will Eldritch Blast says Warlock, but that's a cantrip.
It doesn't say it doesn't say Warlock. It says Eldritch Invocation under.
No, it says Warlock.
I'm looking right at it right now.
Me too.
So am I.
Oh my
Might be
God,
different
how
on the player screen.
As long as it doesn't have the red cast button next to it,
Yeah.
Uncle Sean, it does not require a spell slot.
Okay, but these are things I can use, though.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I can't use Hellish Rebuke unless I'm attacked.
Correct.
Correct.
Really? That's kind of weird. Okay, but that's cool. I didn't even know I had all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, then I'm going to cast, again, Firebolt.
All right, go ahead and roll the hit with disadvantage because he's prone.
He's prone, so I have disadvantage?
Yes. So ranged attacks, while if you're using a ranged attack on someone who is prone, it is disadvantage. If you're doing a melee attack on someone who is prone, it is advantage.
They're smaller.
Armor man laying in a field is going to be a harder target for a sniper than an armor man standing up.
That's a very good way
That's
of
it.
putting it. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, since I know I need a 17 to hit, I missed.
All right. You still have movement available if you'd like to use it.
No, I really picked my stuff to stay away.
All right. Yellow.
Well, the grease goes away after 1 minute, so I think that goes away in a couple rounds, right?
Yeah, I mean, we can sit there and assume that after next round it can go.
Okay, cool.
Because you applied it pre-battle.
Yeah. Not a spell slot. It's spells on top of them. I'm just gonna my turn. Yell the royal. The stone. Be my turn because I don't want to.
All right.
Yeah.
So the nimble right turn is up and is going to make 2 attacks at royal. It does so with disadvantage because it is prone but also wrapped up by royal. First one, roll the same number. It's a 16 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. And then the second one misses automatically. It's my first one's a natural 1.
Cool.
And then you'll end up taking, oh my God, a phone call. You'll take a phone call. 14 piercing damage, reduced to 7.
Alrighty.
And let me set my phone vibrate so that, because this is probably going to be something that happens more. And at that point, it is now Vash's turn.
Okay. I am going to hit that damn thing as many times as I can while Royal holds on to it.
Okay. Because it's a melee attack, you do have advantage.
Okay. That's going to be a 24 to hit with the Yikawa.
Hits.
For 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
I will use my last key point to throw some furry elbows at him. That's going to be a 15 on the first one.
Misses.
And another miss on the second one. So I'm done.
All right. Varm.
Seeing as Royal is in close proximity, I'm just going to raise my pistol and walk up to it and hold the gun to its head and ask it if it's ready to stop yet.
Okay. Once again, like most
finger.
people rights, it does not give any verbal answer because Royal's got its arms bound. It doesn't look like it's capable of responding at all.
Do I feel any fingers moving?
So
Yeah, but they're usually trying to rip off your grip, so I don't feel like you would sit there. It's like that doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
it can't relax. It can't go limp. It can't put its head down as any indicator that
It's not
compliant.
choosing to. Yeah. It's not choosing to is the best I can tell you.
Okay.
All right.
So just to let you know,
I-
yeah, in this position, and actually, Nicodemus, I need you to re-roll. Yeah, if you wanted to do Eldritch Blast, because I just realized not only is he prone, which would give you disadvantage, he's constrained, which would give him you advantage. So it'd be a straight roll. And then Varm, even though you have 2 disadvantages and an advantage, it would still be a straight roll if you wanted to use your pistol. In case I messed up the ruling earlier. So if you want to re-roll Eldritch Blast, Sean, you may do so.
Sure, why not? What do we got to lose? My rolls have been great anyways. Oh my god! 22.
Would hit.
Would
And
hit.
then
I allowed it, but I'm not allowing it because you hit.
Yeah. No, it would hit, so it does.
All right, so then that's a 10.
All right.
No, I'm gonna roll a 10.
Okay.
That's a 3. Take that, you bastard.
Bastard.
Did you not take the one that allows you to add your charisma modifier to it?
No, he also casts Firebolt.
Oh, that's right.
Which one allows me to do that? I don't see that anywhere.
I talked to you about this through text the other day. It's an Eldritch invocation called Agonizing Blast. You would have had to take that instead of the Armor of Shadows or whatever the other one was. The one that allowed you to read any writing.
Yeah. Sorry for the mistake on that one, Varm. We'll continue your turn.
Can I change some of this stuff next time? Before next time, I should say. Not this time, but after next time.
We'll worry about that once the battle's done, but probably. Yeah, Varm, sorry for interrupting your turn.
Oh, no problem. I still standing there with the pistol to his head. I really don't want to fire right now, so I'm just going to attempt to thump his skull with it. I'm going to pistol whip the bastard.
All right, cool. Because of your firearms training, we'll count that as a melee attack, but same damage.
Ouch.
Advantage if it's a melee.
That's a,
Yeah, you would get advantage for using the pistol as a melee weapon.
okay.
Thank you,
Good.
Aaron.
It's slightly better. 14.
14, unfortunately, you do hit part of the carapace, but it was a hardened area, and it just deflects off. It doesn't look like it did any real damage.
Okay, that'll end my turn.
All right. That puts us at Damros.
All right. Then, that being said, I shall further move closer to this guy and more stabby.
All right. Roll a hit. He is
prone.
He is advantaged because of prone and restrained.
Alrighty.
So you have multiple ways that you can take that advantage.
I just rolled another natural 20.
Oh, man. Stop using the Tomb Annihilation dice.
I'm not. I'm using this one. This is the one that keeps rolling natural 20s.
Okay.
See? Not the devil green dice.
Stop killing my friends.
It is only 19 damage this time. I rolled a 5, a 2, and a 1.
Okay.
I have concluded.
All right. Back up to Royal.
Okay. I'm going to get up and go there and then come
So just
right
let you know,
back.
while you're in the grease trap, that does cost 10 feet of movement instead of 5.
That I'll use dash as a bonus action.
Okay.
So I'm going to run back in and drop the people's elbow.
Okay. Before you can do that, because you left the grease trap and went back into it, you do need to make a dexterity saving.
Okay.
DC 13. You get advantage on dex saving throws because you're raging.
I was about to ask. 11.
All right. So you don't truly get to do the people's elbow the way that I described it, but you do end up like tripping and falling and just hitting with both of your elbows anyway. So the attack can still happen, but you are now prone on a prone target. It is a straight roll, unless you want to use barbarian abilities.
What barbarian abilities could I use on that?
If you have reckless attack.
Oh yeah, I always forget reckless attack. Okay. Yep. I should attack recklessly.
Okay.
21 to hit.
21 hits so hard.
And I get a +5 to the damage because of Charger.
Yep.
Am I rolling like a D4?
No. Yeah, I'll allow it.
You'll allow it?
Yeah, because like typically because it's a melee attack, it's supposed to be 1 plus your strength modifier.
Oh, yeah, that's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, my unarmed strike is 4.
Okay,
so 4,
cool.
4 plus 5 for the Charger is 9.
Yeah, because I thought you said, "Can I roll a d4 for it?"
I did ask because I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now we're starting to see signs of incredible wear on the nimble right. You see more exposed pieces of the carapace. You get the idea that you now have a better idea of where to hit. So it may change the AC for all that you know. And we'll go ahead and go into Nicodemus.
All right. So, okay, I'm going to cast nothing because my screen went down. Okay, I'll do Eldritch Blast.
Mm-hmm. Rolling with advantage based off of the situation.
Now I'm at advantage.
Yeah. Or straight roll. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot.
No, you're not. You're the greatest DM I've ever had.
Suck it, Corey.
Him. Okay, so I think a 16 misses.
A 16 actually this time hits.
Oh, it hits.
Due to the damage exposing more areas, the carapace is not holding up like it should.
Yes, 10.
All right. Oh, I overrode the damage instead of adding to the damage. Hold on 1 second. Stupid computers and their stupid subroutines and their really big trucks and series of tubes. All right, looking real close to a diagnostic restart for updates. Yep. Anything else you want to do, Nico?
No, I don't. Wait a minute. Do I? Well, I'm gonna look at my bonus action here. Where is that? I don't know where I'm at. Okay.
Today, Junior.
No, nothing I want to do.
All right. I couldn't hear what you said there, Sean, but I think you said that you're ready to finish.
Yeah, I'm done with my turn.
Yallo.
Since it's, I take the grease away now, right?
Yes. The grease can go away at the end of your turn.
Okay. My spells affect people around the thing, so I think it'd be best not to use that. Here and say, "You're doing very good. Hit him hard."
All right. If Yallow's not doing anything, then the nimble right's going. He's going to sit there and begin to stand up again, taking half of his move. and it's going to make 2 attacks. The first one is at Royal at advantage, and then the second one will be at Vash because those are the 2 that I hit him. Royals just got advantage, and that's a critical hit. So and it had advantage anyway because of reckless attack.
Double
So-
secret advantage.
8, 16 plus 7.
Ah,
That'll be 23 slashing damage or piercing damage reduced to 13.
okay.
Yep. And then now to Vash the Stampede. That will be an 18 to hit.
Just hits.
14 piercing damage. And now we'll go to Vash the Stampede.
All right. First strike with my Yikawa. Do I have advantage since I'm flanking with Yalo?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That is a 24 to hit.
Hits.
All right. That is for 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
And then I will do my unarmed strike. And that's going to miss with a 14.
All right. Varm.
All right. Seeing as trying to hit him with a gun was not as effective as actually shooting it at him, I'm going to put point blank and right at his head.
Wonderful. It is gross point blank.
Wow. I don't think a 10's going to.
Remember, you have advantage because Royal's flanking.
Mhm.
Oh, I always forget that.
Yeah. It's one of our weird little house rules.
Then it's a 16.
16 just barely hits.
All right. And he will take 7 piercing.
Explain to me why he needs his operating, because that finishes the battle.
Dodge this.
Damn it, Corey, take your fucking inspiration.
Just use it.
Yeah, that's better than anything I was going to come up with. So yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah, so is this one, the gun sits there, it's like to make sure you don't miss, you literally put right into contact with the interior of it. You just sit there, hey asshole, dodge this. Boom. And at this point you just see this like a whole bunch of shrapnel coming out the other side. At this point the nimble right, while still active, just slumps down to his knees and begins to realize, like, sit there. It's like it's just before having to enter sleep mode. At this point, he uses his hand, and it's like using an old, like those old printers from the 1970s and 80s that they would print half of a letter in a straight line before coming back and doing the other half of the letter. And as he's writing that out, it just sits there and says, I surrender.
And talk.
Yep. And congratulations, guys. You just fought your first challenge rating 9 character.
Yeah, that dude fucking hit hard. Who do you work for?
At this point, he sits there and writes down, and I have to go back to make sure I say the names right. It just sits there and says, Casa Lantern.
Casa Lantern.
Yalo. All of you are very aware of the Casa Lantern. These are philanthropists, half-elf philanthropists. They have twins that are 8 years old, about to turn 9, and end up becoming community philanthropists that really work for helping out the downtrodden, finding homes for orphans after their firstborn son, Osvaldo, died when he turned 9.
So does that mean then that we know exactly where to find these people?
Yes.
Follow-up
Doesn't
question.
have
What did you do with the stone?
He just sits there and says, "Delivered to sender."
Who is sender?
Sendercaster lantern.
Let me go to the right page.
The trick.
Writing down. It sits there and says, Growlhund.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if there's a Growlhund caster lantern? Does that sound familiar?
Wasn't Growlhund the lady at the place we just left?
Yeah, wasn't the name of the villa?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She lied.
Well, not really. We didn't actually ask her if she had it.
I feel like we did.
You beat around the bush and asked a question that vaguely resembled, "Do you have this thing?"
Should have known it was her when she didn't like my pun.
Yeah. Remember, you guys talked more about pretending to be census takers in a situation in which no one would believe.
They could have believed it.
Scott, you have been a part of census. Like, you've had to do a census before. When have you ever had 6 people come to your house saying, "Yeah, we're doing a census"?
Wait, who were those
All
people?
the time.
I think it's time that we hand the reins over to Varm when we go back to Growlhund Villa.
Let him do his thing.
We get that stone. Or ask a crippled lady where it went.
Make her further crippled.
Mr. Nimblewright, if we put you back together slightly, would you work for us?
As he writes down in the sand, like he wipes off what he said earlier in the sand because he can't really reach for any more. And he just writes down, "Do I really have a choice?"
Because of the implications.
No.
Is that a yes?
If this is the only way I can survive, then I have no choice but to say yes.
Ooh, that could be a nice project for Varm with his tinker's tool.
I don't have time to draw it. I was gonna say I get down in the sand and draw next to him like a, what do I draw?
I don't know, but I vote that you jam this guy in your backpack like C-3PO on Chewbacca's back.
I am going to do that. That's what I draw. I draw like a cat with a backpack of like robot parts.
Do as you must.
And I start jamming him in.
You never got the idea that these things can make facial expressions, but you can, like, anyone following behind Royal can almost swear they can sense the disdain
I draw a mustache on it.
of this increased disdain of this backpack situation. Yep. To that point, you return with the unnamed Nimblewright in tow. Every once in a while, who's currently holding the Nimblewright detector right now?
I think
Not
Damros
it.
had it.
Who had it?
I think Damros had it because he was the one flying around.
Yeah, that, if I remember correctly, that was at least
Cool.
relatively close to what we were doing.
All right, cool. Every time, like, if you accidentally press the dead man switch, it begins to just spin around and whistle.
I'm just periodically pushing it around random people to my own amusement.
You know, every once in a while, I see me shout out, "This guy's a fake! He's in disguise!" And just seeing what other people do.
More doing
Yep.
it to those people who are so wrapped up in their own world they don't even notice what's going on around them, just to scare the shit out of them for a second.
Yep. Yeah. Roll for shenanigans. No, don't roll for
Doing it.
shenanigans.
I got a
gotta stop
12.
making. Yeah, 12 shenanigans happened on the way back to Groundhog Village.
I am satisfied.
Yep. But eventually, you guys do return. This time, it's a little bit later in the day. That cadre of 8 off to the side that were deactivated are now activated, doing different nighttime chores, washing dishes and clothes, that kind of stuff. The other 8 are now on the other side of the room in sleep mode. At this point, down there, you see Lord Gralhund.
That's the guy who the woman said was making these things, right?
Yep. He sits there and goes like, "Oh, did you end up breaking your number right? It's a shame
No, we
how
won.
often that
We
people
won
do
this.
it."
We won this
Okay.
at Carnival.
So you won a broken nimble right, or did
Uh-huh.
you break it?
We
I didn't
won
say I
it
did
broken while taking a census.
Oh, yes. You're back. My wife told me about you. Why the hell are you back?
Your friend here on my back tells us that you have something of ours.
You're going to have to be a tad more specific.
You have something of ours.
You have a
I'm-
rock.
It's
I'm
like
getting the idea that you have something of mine as well in that backpack.
I don't
No,
know
I
what
want-
you're talking about. It's like a rock.
If it is yours, it stole from us and it tried to murder us. So, is this yours?
The robot is one of ours, yes.
Well, it
So do you have like a rock
tried.
that this thing brought to you?
If you want to know about the whereabouts of the Stone of Galore, I have to tell you we no longer of it. We had an individual seek out our help, signed a contract for a one-off deal, and paid us handsomely for it. Part of what that money buys is discretion.
What if we pay you?
Look, we know that what was taken from us was delivered here.
And it was then delivered to those who took out the contract.
Yes, the castle lanterns.
Those are not the words that I used.
That was definitely not a denial.
That's a non-denial denial.
It was not a confirmation. It was not a denial.
Well,
If
we're to keep this prize, but you should let your other nimble rights know that loose lips sink ships.
Oh, loose lips are very helpful.
Are you done here?
I kind of don't want to be.
I don't know, Varm,
Can
what do
you
you think? Are
please
we
be
done here?
done here?
Varm, do you think we're done here?
Break his legs.
Sorry, I was muted.
That's okay.
Yeah, I really don't see any reason to fuck this guy up right now. We'll just go find the stone, keep the damn robot.
If we find out you had more to do with this, we'll be back.
As I'm sure you would be.
I would say you don't want us to come back, but I know you already don't. But you double don't want us to have to come back here.
And don't think your robots will
Before we
protect you.
leave, do we know that if there's more than one castle lantern family? Deep or
Or it was I was under the impression that the lantern was the name of the family and that Casa was the person.
No, it's all one word, Casalanter.
Gotcha.
So to give you an idea, is that the family's name is That is the Castellanter family that everyone in town is.
What did I miss?
Okay.
What did we miss here?
No, I just gave the spelling of the Castellanter name.
Oh.
Cool.
All right. So at this point, yes.
Before we go, can you give me any tips on putting one of these things together?
Is he just gonna let us steal his robot?
He's
We're not
got more
stealing
than
it.
enough, apparently.
It's ours now.
We won this.
Roll for persuasion.
Can I roll for intimidation?
Yeah, I roll for intimidation because I actually had that.
Yeah, based off of the way you said it, no.
I have the same modifier, so it's okay. 15.
He sits there and goes, get a good set of tools, take your time, and don't take something apart until you realize how to put it back.
I look at anybody else if they
Just
understood.
an owner's manual?
If you're asking for instructions on how to build and repair Nimblerites, I would be remiss to give you that, because then you could be direct competition.
Just repair. I don't need to build them.
Look, I'm sure that any information that you need, the Nimblewright himself can give to you.
And do you really think I would be competition for you?
Any competition is competition for me.
You're an insecure little man.
An NDA.
I have a monopoly. I like having a monopoly. But I also understand that if I stood up against you guys, the angry one over here will make a quick end of me. I'm trying to act in a way that will allow me to walk away breathing, maintain my house, and have you guys not interact with me again.
God, how I love capitalism.
Can you mail me an owner's manual?
Can you leave?
Well, if you mail us an owner manual, we'll leave. If not, just hand us
You
one.
do realize that mail is not an immediate thing.
But I want to see you put it in the post.
His bar blow up anyways.
All right, what is your address?
What is our address?
Troll Skull Manor.
Yeah.
All right. Here's the envelope. There's your address. Can you leave?
Well, I'm satisfied.
I'm getting the impression that he doesn't want us here.
It's very rude not
Really?
to have us for tea, especially at this hour.
I mean, after all, it wasn't us that stole from anybody. Somebody stole from us.
And you're stealing what little patience I have left.
Are you a doctor?
Do you only work on halflings?
I
don't know what more you want from this guy.
We're just having fun irritating you, Jay.
I just want to look around and see if there's like a set to build these things. And I'm just gonna grab that.
Not in the main room which you're at.
Well, on the way out, I'm gonna grab some tools.
No. I'm telling you, on the way out, there's no.
All right, I'm gonna go back upstairs.
At this point, he just sits there like, I've put up with you enough. You are not going back upstairs.
Just trying to find a screwdriver.
Go to a hardware store.
But you have to have one.
That's mine. You've already taken one thing that is mine, and I'm allowing it to happen. Please leave.
Farm has these tools.
Bye, buddy. Bye, buddy.
All right, at this point, you guys head back to Troll Skull Alley.
See you tomorrow. Same time.
We know where you sleep.
Honey, we're moving.
Bye.
at this point, you guys have your very own nimble right to.
We have a new friend.
Can we integrate the Nimblewright detector into the Nimblewright?
Yes. Yes,
Then
you
it'll
certainly
never
can.
work.
Just always whistling.
I just like the whistle. It's just comforting.
I think we need to make him look more like BB-8.
I think he needs a mask.
I agree.
All right, so we're in the final 10 minutes of today's session. Is there anything that you guys would like to settle before we end for the
Not that I can think of.
so far, the improvements that you have made to Trollskull Alley, there are scratching posts with rough carpet that double as judo posts.
Yeah.
The contractor's problems have finished. There's a firing range for both arrows and for pistols behind, just off screen of this first map here. You have the fire pole that'll let you go directly from the fourth floor to the inn, right behind the bar here. The fighting ring has been completed. It is at the northeast section of map 1. The secret entrance is done. The last thing they have to put in is the vault safe room that you wanted. The casino is arguably ready to go with table games.
Now, wait a second here. We had some guy put in a secret passage. He knows it.
It's just for the speakeasy.
No. I'm fine.
It's not like a super secret.
No.
It's supposed
the
to be
VIP
public knowledge,
entrance.
but restricted access.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still. Shouldn't we just kill him too?
No.
No?
No, annoy him, yes. Murder, no. All right. Any other improvements that you guys would like to add?
Not that I can think
Is there
of.
like a place to practice my spell work in here?
You could probably have a Arcanist table on the 4th floor. We can just sit there and assume that you have that.
Cool.
Can I get a stepladder?
Yeah, but that's going to be 3 platinum. No, I'm kidding.
Well, once we rebuild 3PO, he can just carry you around.
We could create a little back harness for him, and you can just ride on like a toddler.
Oh my God.
Imagine your new move speed as a mounted wizard.
Yeah,
Can I
we'll
just
give
sit
him
there and
baby
Master
backpacks.
Blaster.
Yeah, just imagine that you get an extra 127 hit points because they hit first.
Can we make a little hollow in the Nimblewright's stomach for Yallo to sit in, like Crag from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
Welcome to our first mecha campaign in Dungeons and Dragons.
I'm just going to call him Master
You give us
Blaster.
robots. We're gonna start sitting in them.
This is somehow even more ridiculous than what AS was allowed to do.
Yep.
Motherfucker, guys.
And on
Can we
that
take you
note,
with us? Do I have a choice? Hey guys, how did you get your CR9 fucking companion? Funny story.
how is your
We
wizard
won him in a
almost
carnival.
invincible?
A wizard at level 3 in this campaign. 7 bonus hit points.
With an AC of 17.
And a move speed of 40 as a gnome. To give you an idea of the stats of the creature that you're fighting. It had starting armor class of 19 that I debuffed to 17 because otherwise nothing would hit. 127 hit points, move speed of 14 feet, strength 19, dex 24, constitution 19, wisdom 17, charisma 19. Invulnerable or immune to poison damage, vulnerable to cold, could not be charmed, exhausted, frightened, petrified, poisoned, or stunned. Has advantage on saving throws to spells and other magical effects. Critical attacks happen at a roll of 18, 19, or 20.
Wow.
Yep, plus 10 to hit. And then on a critical hit, strength saving throw or the enemy falls prone. Yep.
And on that note, we are